Hi guys, it is Aoife from Friday We Died Laughing, and I'm here with a kind of, not really a TBR, more of a might be read in November, and that is for Non-Fiction November. And this is something I've never taken part in before, but for some reason this weekend I was looking at some books and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and get these read in November. And it's Non-Fiction November, so this suits. I have a whole lot here. I've chosen 5 books, and maybe I will get some of these read. If I get more than half of these read, that'll be great. And I want to just talk about them really briefly to you guys. So the first book here I have is The Bloodied Field by Michael Foley, and this is actually a book I got for my dad a few years ago, and it's one that I have kind of skimmed through. It's one I've kind of flicked through at different points, because it's something that's always really interested me, but I've never actually read it cover to cover, so I'm going to try and do that this month. And this is actually a really interesting book about an event in Irish history, and we kind of call it, it's one of the many bloody Sundays in world history. It is from something that happened the 21st of November in 1920, and the IRA at the time basically did an attack on British intelligence agents in Ireland, and I think 14 of them were killed. And in retaliation to that, this group of mercenary soldiers employed by Britain attacked a football game that was happening in Croke Park at the time in Dublin. And they basically stormed into this field while this game was going on and shot into the crowd and killed a lot of people. A lot of those people included women, children, football players, people who were just out enjoying a day out. They had nothing to do with the IRA, they had nothing to do with the tensions between Ireland and England's control of Ireland at the time, and they are people just out enjoying a sports game, and they ended up being the victims of this attack. So this is kind of about the events leading up to that, the events leading up to the British intelligence agents being killed by the IRA, the events of the day, the people who were killed. I think this is going to be really good. As I said, I flicked through this before and I've really enjoyed the style of writing in it, so I think this is one that I will really get a lot out of. The next book I want to read is a book I got a while ago, and it's Notes on a Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. I'm actually on a work trip next week, and I'll be on a plane in airports, so I think this might be one I might bring with me. I'm also going to be bringing Normal People by Sally Rooney to read on that, but if I don't want to, if I get a bit tired of fiction, maybe I'll pick up this non-fiction book during that, because I think this might be a nice plane read or airport read. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to reading this. I've never read any Matt Haig before, but this one just really appealed to me, which is why I bought it. And yeah, it's kind of how we stay sane, a world that is full of technology and full of things that kind of stress us out and make us anxious, and yeah, very much looking forward to this. Next book I want to read, I don't have a physical copy of. I do have it granted to me on NetGalley, but I actually really want to buy a physical copy of it because it's one I think I'll really enjoy, and that is Listening to the Animals by Noel Fitzpatrick. Noel Fitzpatrick is Channel 4's Supervet. If you got anybody watches the Supervet, Noel Fitzpatrick is a Supervet. He's Irish, and this is his new book out, just about kind of how he got a start in veterinary medicine, how he became who he is today, and the different kind of amazing, life-changing things he does with the animals to make them have a better life. A lot of the animals he helps would have completely different lives if some of the amazing things that he was able to do, if he didn't do them. I went to see his talk in Dublin a few weeks ago, and he was just amazing. He's so inspiring, so I'm really looking forward to reading this book because I think it's one I will really love. The next book I do have a physical copy of, but I don't have it here with me. It's in the other house. That is The Choice by Edith Eger. I think I've mentioned this briefly before in a reading vlog or something, but this is basically a Holocaust story. It's about Edith, who ended up in a concentration camp. I think she's in Auschwitz actually. And this is basically I think it's her autobiography, and I think it's just going to be really tough, really sad read, but a very important read. I've been waiting for the right time to read this book because I feel like you have to be in the right sense of mind to be reading something that's so powerful but so sad and so upsetting. So at the time when I got it from the publishers, I just don't think I was in the right frame of mind to read it, where now I feel prepared to read it, so I'm very much looking forward to it. And the next book is something I've actually had on my Kindle for a while from NetGalley, and it's The Woman Who Fought an Empire by Gregory J. Wallens. And this is, I think, it's about a woman who operated a spy ring during World War II. I think that's what it is. It's about a woman who operated some kind of spy ring. I think it was during World War II. Might have been during something else. But it sounds quite interesting. And it's one I've had like marked as that I'm going to be reading really soon. for quite a while, so I'm definitely going to try and get to that because I think it sounds amazing. It's everything I'm going to try and read for Non-Fiction November. I don't know if I'll get through any of these, if I'll get through all of them. If I can get through half of them, I'll be happy. So yeah, please let me know if you guys have read any of these books or what books you're planning to read for Non-Fiction November. If you have any non-fiction recommendations, I'm actually going to have a video up next week, I think, about non-fiction recommendations. That will be kind of coming late for Non-Fiction November, but always a good time for some recommendations. So yeah, so as I said, please leave a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.